I'm now being joined by Rakesh K.S. Bhadauri, former Air Chief Marshal, joining us today to discuss about what's happening. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time. My first question to you would be, what role does air power play in integrated military operations like Operation Sindoor, especially in counter-terrorism scenarios?
Yeah, clearly, you've seen if the kind of targets chosen were what have been explained in the briefing today, and a lot of it has been covered by you already. For these kind of target, they would have done a study of what the target entails, what is the best weapon, what is the best platform for that, and which service has the right delivery means, which service is best suited, and then the entire operations is integrated. Whatever air power would be used for all the operations where air launched weapons are utilized, and apart from that, for giving the overall coverage in terms of air defense and looking at the entire operation from air perspective. To understand in simple words, this was an integrated planning to be able to target these nine targets successfully and effectively. Uh, who's done what in terms of defense service and how it was executed is matter of detail, which we'll probably come to know later. But that's how it would pan out.
Now, we all understand that this is, one of the first tri-service coordination after the 1970s, the 1971 India-Pakistan war. I'd like to understand from you, what role does the Indian Air Force play in, such a scenario, and what kind of operations take place from the Indian Air Force's perspective?
Yeah, I don't think that's right to say there is a first try service kind of thing. All such operations, whenever two or more services are involved, is always integrated. Okay. Uh, in terms of you asking about Air Force, what role does it play in targets like this? Clearly, whatever targets get assigned to the Air Force, for those targets, the right weapon, the right delivery means, the understanding of the adversaries' deployments and how their air defense network is currently deployed. So all those actions, all those factors would come into play in deciding how to go about planning the mission and attack the target successfully. So here, what is important is the targets, all three services, integration in terms of achieving the right mix and utilizing the core capabilities of the right service to achieve the targets, and also uh, the core issue was that the terrorist targets that were chosen had to be struck and destroyed effectively. It was a message to be given that terrorism is not acceptable, Pahalgam is not acceptable, and therefore it was important to achieve a successful hit on these targets in the very first attempt, and in an effective manner. I think that was the core issue, that is the core objective, and which has been achieved very, very effectively.
Mr. Bhadoria. And in fact, you've helped me actually ask you the next question that I had in mind. So, when there is an integrated tri-service coordination between the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy in such kind of an operation, I would like to understand, given your expertise in Air Force and your respected experience in this particular field and domain, what are those special strengths that the Indian Air Force has, and what would the strategy of Indian Air Force be? Because I'm sure while it is an integrated operation and effort to strike back and strike back in a measured manner, what are those special capabilities that the Indian Air Force brings to the plate?
Okay, special capabilities as relevant in this scenario would be the kind of weapons that Air Force has in terms of precision weapons that are required to undertake such targeting. You see, when the terrorist infrastructure or such camps are in close proximity to civilians and other infrastructure which is close by, especially in Muridke, Bahawalpur, etc. It is very important to strike the target very, very precisely with pinpoint accuracy and minimize any other damage, be it to civilian infrastructure or to civilians. Okay, so what strength of Air Force is the kind of weapons available, the kind of ranges available that these weapons can be employed, and of course the flexibility of approaching, the target in many ways. What is important is that whenever such targets are undertaken, the complete picture is very important. The army is deployed in areas close to border, on the LC or IB as relevant as applicable, and in any case and any such operations, the services are to be fully into the loop of what is happening, because there are actions that each needs to take when such targets are being struck. There are actions that would need to be taken immediately after such a, when the target is being struck for the first time, because some level of operational deployment would not have happened before. Immediately as the target gets struck, each service has to deploy to a different level and operationally go many notches up for operational deployment for the next to anticipate whatever Pakistan might do, to be in a position to tackle that effectively. So there are many aspects of integration, and in that there is some core capabilities of Air Force, particularly in the air defense networks and air defense related work that would come to bear. So this is in nutshell relevant to this scenario, what Air Force capabilities are important.
Right, right. Mr. Bhadauri, I would also request you to shed some light on, the different capabilities that all three defense forces have. Now, you said that maybe the weaponry of the Indian Air Force at this given point of time is its biggest strength. And would you be able to give us some sense on, what kind of exercises is the Indian Army and the Indian Navy taking as well?
No, similarly, Army and Navy have weapon systems which can target such targets that are chosen. Army, for example, can deploy loitering munitions. Army can deploy some other, attack methods for targets that are close to LC. So if a target is close to LC, it's well within the range of army current deployments, and then that can become the chosen mode. Similarly, if it is approachable and in range of the Navy area of operations or in zone of operation, then the target can be considered for the Navy. So from target perspective, it is done in that manner. Since we don't have all the details, who was where and what has been taken by whom, that exercise would have gone through
Okay.
between the defense services.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhadauri, for giving us your time, and this definitely helps us get some more clarity on the role of the Indian Air Force in Operation Sindoor, and we really appreciate your insights. Thank you so much for joining us.